Super 6 game of the week presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We'll have the column coming out later in the week. And the game is Buccaneers-Saints. And obviously the Buccaneers with the win clinch the division, and that will be a nice ticket for Mr. Geoff Schwartz over there. One of the questions obviously going to be in the Super 6, what will the outcome of the Buccaneers-Saints be? Will the Buccaneers win by 14 points or more? And my answer is absolutely going to be yes. Spoiler alert, we're not going to read the column anyway, but we're not going to beat around the bush here. Like what's the Saints team got going for it? Tampa is playing fantastic football. Baker, I mean, everybody, you saw a couple of weeks ago, Bucky Irvin had a huge game last week. Baker just throwing it all over the place. We just talked about the Mike Evans potential incentives, and to beat a dead team walking in the Saints at home to lock up another division title, a hell of a year by the Buccaneers, and we won't even get into what happened Sunday night to allow this game to matter for Tampa. But we talked a couple weeks ago about how Tampa, it might minus 140 to win the division was probably the way to go entering last week, and it did work out that way, Will.
It sure did. And, I think along the way, Geoff and I have given out some plus 400 on Tampa, which was about to go down with, but thank you to Raheem Morris. He will be getting a Christmas card next year. My goodness, that was bad. All the things you said are true. Tampa probably going to roll. I can't quite get to 14 here. Maybe you look up and it's 21-0 in the second quarter. You say, hey, the 14 wasn't too much, but I don't know. I feel like these teams that aren't going to the playoffs typically play spoiler better. They know what's at stake. We've had a miserable season. Everyone's gotten hurt, but we can take some solace into, making Tampa work for this. If we could ever pull an upset, that'd be great and ruin Tampa's season, their division rival. So I don't know, maybe they win by 10 or so. If anything, I would take the 14. I just think 14 is expensive here, Sammy.
Can I hop in quickly, Sammy, on this idea of a spoiler team? I think it's sort of a myth. A spoiler team to me is actually like a team like the Panthers. And it didn't happen last weekend because they're so hurt. But it's like a young, hungry team with a new coach. Like, it has a lot to play for. Do you remember the Lions a couple years ago that they beat the Packers? And
that was great. I love the Lions.
It's that type of team. It's not the Saints who can't cover against the Raiders at home. Like, that's a wrong team, I feel like, is a spoiler team. Now, of course, you might say that this week in the facility. Let's spoil their season. But you get down 10-0, that's out the window immediately. So I think just be careful when we use that as a handicap this week. I don't think that actually applies for lots of teams. For the Panthers, I actually think it does. It's like they're not spoiling the Falcons this weekend. But the fact is, like, Sammy, that's, to me, not something I use very often when it comes to this sort of week, especially because there really aren't that many instances where I think you could spoil someone's season.
Yeah, we saw Arizona play hard Saturday night. I mean, against the Rams, where they probably could have, should have won that game. So,
I just wish the
spoken like a guy who was on a 2-14 team that kicked the field goal down 27-3.
I looked at 8 minutes left, baby. It was. I don't want to take up too much of the time.
I love hearing this shit.
So this is my third season in Carolina. Sorry. We were 2-14, and before every game you convince yourself you're going to win. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You have to do that, right? Like, that's how you prepare each week. This is the one time in my entire career, college, NFL, where we were sitting the night before a game, the offensive line, and we're playing cards. We always play cards before a game. And we were like sort of openly joking about what was going to happen the next day. And our goal for that game, was that Steelers defense, 2010, was incredible, right? Like, all the guys that you can name during that era, right?
Super Bowl team.
Yeah, Harrison and Hampton and Kiesel and Ferrier, all those guys, right? Ryan Clark and Ike Taylor, all those, like, incredible defense. They were allowing 66 yards a game rushing. Our goal was to get over that. That was our only goal for the entire game. We got like 74. Jonathan Stewart didn't play, I don't think, that game. DeAndre Williams was hurt. We had Mike Goodson running the ball for us, and that was our goal. But I've never been in a situation in my career where we were sort of like openly mocking how bad it was going to go the next day. Now, again, we played hard. It wasn't like we didn't play hard, but we were just really, really bad. And they were very good in 2010.
Sammy, do you remember what the hell you were going to say now?
I was going to say, I wish I knew the Saints could get me to 14 points, but we were looking over 43. I don't know that I can get there. Now it's 43.5, so I guess it was a little bit of a move up. Last two games, guys, the Saints have 10 points.
Ooh.
They get goosed against Green Bay. They score 10 against Vegas. New Orleans probably going to give up 28, maybe 35, but then you need 10 or 14 from New Orleans, and I think I could put my money in better places. I could just bet more against Dan Campbell.
Bear Bets full episodes drop twice a week right here on the Bear Bets YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to stay ahead of the odds, and let's celebrate all of our wins together.